Hi guys, I'm Madler. In this video we're gonna talk about 11 tips that help you make your game easier and faster than before. I don't wanna waste time. Let's dig in. Number 1. Unity attributes. Attributes are markers that can be placed above a class's properties function in a script to indicate a special behavior. Here I have some practical attributes for you, so let's see it. The first attribute is header. It adds a header above your field. The second attribute is space. A space attribute used for add some spacing in the inspector. The next one is text area. Text area makes a string in inspector flex and screwable. The next attribute is tooltip. Tooltip make hovering when you move the mouse pointer on your field. Next one is range attribute. With range attribute you can restrict float or int variable to a specific range. And the last attribute is hide in inspector. It makes a variable not show up. For example, I have a public variable here, but I don't want to see it in inspector. I can use this attribute for do that. Number 2. Singletons. Singleton is a basic design pattern that allows you to have global access, but you can have only one singleton class in your project, and I think it's good to use for game manager and audio manager. So let's see it. First, we should create a private instance to the script, and we need to return instance. To do this, we should create a property, but we don't need setter because we never want to change value of instance. Now we set a condition to check if instance doesn't exist, make 1. After that, return instance. And finally, in awake method, we assign the instance, which means this class, this object. For example, we have public bool game start here, and we want to change the value of this boolean in other script. And cause our class is singleton, we just enough to go to other script and write game manager.instance.gamestart equals true. And for see the result, we print game manager instance game start. And we go to see result. Here, when I start the game, you can see the value is changed. Number 3. Play mode option. As you know, play mode allows you to run your project directly inside the editor via the play mode button. The ability to quick enter and exit the play mode is an important factor while you are developing your game. When you enter the play mode, Unity does two things. First, it resets the scripting state, that's also called domain reload, and second, it reloads the scenes. But you can enable play mode to run and test your project fast and immediately. So let's see it. Here my play mode option is off. When I start the game, you can see I should wait for reload the script and scene, and it takes a time. But I can go to edit, project setting, editor, and scroll down and enable play mode options. And you can see when I start the game, it's run immediately. It's run. Number 4. Duplicating window. You can duplicate the window and keep the first one if you need another same window. So let's see what should we do. Let's dig in. Here I have some assets that I want to change their folder. For example, this sound effect being cars folder, this one in clothes, this one in enemies. I can lock this window and click here and add tab and project. And I have 2 project windows now. Now I drag and drop this window here, and as you can see, I have my asset here, and I changed 2 column layout to 1, and I can import and change their folder easily now. Number 5. 2D array in inspector. In Unity, you can have access to the array through the inspector, so you need to create a custom property. To create a 2D array to show in the inspector, first of all we need to create a class that is serializable. After into class we need to create a variable that is array. Then outside of the class we create a variable class that is array. Now I have 2D array in the inspector. For example, I have 2 type of enemy. That health of enemy type 1 is 10 and enemy type 2 is 20. Number 6. Grid snapping. Unity provides a visual grid that helps you to design your game scene much more easier. In toolbar of the scene window, we can see grid visual, grid snapping, and increment snapping.
I enable grid snapping and create an object and reset the transform. Now when I move the object position, you can see object position change 1 meter per unit. Now I want to change the grid size. I come here and enable link icon. Now I can change Y and Z value. For example, I set Z be 3 meter and X be 2 meter. Now when I change the X position of object, you can see object change 2 meter per unit, and into Z direction when I change object position, we can see object change 3 meter per unit. For example, I want to create some wall.
Number 7. Scriptable object. A scriptable object is a Unity serializable class that allows you to store large quantities of shared data independent from a script instance. It's a great way to store your data. So let's see. For example, we have some player that we want to get their information. First of all, you need to create a script that is inheritance from a scriptable object class. Next, we write our variable that we want. After, outside of the class and above that, we open the bracket and create the asset menu and set file name and menu name to show it in Unity. After, when we go to Unity and in project window, we click right and go to create, you can see our scriptable object. I make one and call it Johnny. And now I fill my variable, for example, this. After, I go to player class and I create a class variable. Now I can fill this class variable with my information. And for example, I have other players that I want to set my data for them. Number 8. Vertex snapping. You can hold V button to enable vertex snapping to set your object position in scene next to the other objects easily. Number 9. Get component in update. Be careful to don't use get component in update method. It will cost performance too much. It's better to cache your component in a start method. Number 10. Visual Studio debugging. It's essential to have good tools to find bugs in our game. So Visual Studio Debug is an easy and useful tool to debugging codes. Let's see how it's working. Here I have a player that moves forward automatically and a camera that follows my player. I play project, and as you can see, my camera doesn't follow my player, and in the console I have bugs. Let's use Visual Studio Debugging to solve these problems. These are my scripts. I set breakpoint for line 20 and 16 by clicking left, and for my other script I set breakpoint for line number 10, 15 and 18. Now we should attach Visual Studio to Unity from here. And now when I play game, it checks breakpoints. Now I come to Visual Studio, and with this icon you can go to next breakpoint, and with this icon you can go to next line. With hovering on my code, I can see the value of my objects. Now I want to go to next breakpoint and check these variables. I go to here, my rigid body is null. I go to next breakpoint. Here I can see the variable. As you can see, my target value is null and it's problem. And I think my error is for this target. And I go to next step, don't have a problem again here, and I go to next breakpoint, my RB has value, and again I come to here and my target is null. I think my problem is for my target. I don't assign this variable. And now I check my camera, and as you can see, I don't assign my target, and I drag player and drop it into transform, and now I think it should work and we don't have a problem. I play game, and as you can see, my camera follow my player and I don't have a problem. Number 11. If this video was useful till now, don't forget subscribe, like and share my video to your friend for supporting me. Thank you. And last one is MIXAMO site. MIXAMO is an Adobe platform where anyone can download lots of character models and animation totally free. So this video is done. Thank you guys for watching this video till done. If you have any subject in your mind, please comment for me and I will make video for you. Have a good day. Pop pop.